Hello, everyone. If anybody's out there, hello. Welcome to the live. I don't see anybody, so until somebody shows up, I'll probably just sit here and wait. Uh, Although it's kind of hard for me sometimes. I am a talker. Uh, so see what happens. Jerry, how you doing, man? You're the first one here. I hope you're doing well. Uh, like I said, I just want to wish everybody in the Philippines. I hope they had a great Independence Day. If I remember right, that's June 12th. It was just this past week. I did get information on my dental, uh, so I don't know if you're going to be coming up today or not, Jerry. That's strictly up to you. You know me, I like having visitors, but if you don't want to come up, you don't want to come up. Uh, Put this in here so before I forget. Uh, I did find out a little more about my dental work, but I'll wait. Unless you want to come up, we can talk about it. It's going to cost me about 4 months of my uh, planned uh, budget. I understand, Jerry. You know, you got to get your stuff done. I understand. Like I said, I just on Thursday I got the estimated cost of the dental work, and there is no uh, partial coming into play. It's going to have to be implants and a bridge with the implants, and maybe some bone graft. So, like I said, what I plan on spending, maybe just a little bit more than what I plan. No, about what I'm planning on spending for a month. This will be like 4 months. Uh, 4 months might be a little less than what I would spend for 4 months. What I'm willing to spend. I'm hoping to spend a little less than this, but this is going to be about 4 months of my planned budget. And I'm talking about my spending budget. I mean, you know, like my household, my groceries, my entertainment, the whole spending part. Now that means I may not spend all that every month, but on an average month, this is about what I'm hoping to get by with. Maybe get by even with a little less than this if I can. Like I said, I can go up higher, uh, but it's going to put a big dent in what I got saved. So I'm not going to be able to go until a little later in the year. I'll still be able to go next year. It's just going to be maybe a month or two later than what I was hoping. I was hoping to be able to go at the end of March. It looks more like the end of maybe May, possibly June. Uh, but I got to see how much I can extend my, how often I can extend my my rental agreement. So I may have to go either a little quicker than I'll want because, and I'm talking about now with this money going out, uh, or maybe I can push. I'm not going to. I definitely don't want to sign another year lease. This is not setting me back that much. Uh, so, but it will set me back a few months. So that's what I'm. But that's also if I have to pay the whole thing. Crystal, how you doing, girl? I hope you and Mark and the family's all doing well. I hope you guys had a great Independence Day. And Jerry, Crystal just said hi to you. I don't know how much you can do if you're not up here. You can probably see the chat, but I'm not positive. And so, like I said, I did find out more about my dental. I got the estimated cost. Now, if I have to pay all of it, it'll set me back a few months, but I'll still be able to go. Hey, Carly, Carly, how you doing, Carly? Like I said, it'll set me back a few months, but I'll still be able to go next year. Uh, like I was telling Jerry, if I have to pay the whole thing, it's going to cost me about maybe a little more than what I'm wanting to spend per month in the Philippines. A little more than 4 months of my planned on spending budget, not what I have coming in, because I got to save money for emergencies, so that it's not going to touch what I plan on saving, but each month. But it'll cost me about 4 months of my spending budget, a little more, a little less. Yeah, that's true, Crystal. But like I said, I was wanting to leave around March, somewhere end of February, end of March. That end of March is when my lease runs out. But I'm going to have to extend my lease at least a couple months if I can. Now, if I can only do it 1 month, then I may split quicker than with less money than I wanted to save. But we'll find that out later. Also, the price that they've quoted is the whole price. I don't know if I'll have to pay all of it or if my insurance will cover some of it. My insurance doesn't cover some of the work I'm going to be having done, so it's going to cost me a good sized chunk of change. Like I said, it's going to cost me almost 4 months of my planned budget spending. So they're going to cut big time into what I've got saved already. So we got to, start putting more money back, and which I was planning on doing anyway. But like I said, instead of leaving at the end of March, maybe quit work at the end of December. That's not going to happen. I'm going to have to work into next year. I was hoping not to have to do that, but I had a feeling I was going to have to, even without this setback. But that's all right. We'll do that. We'll get whatever we can saved up, and when I have the amount of money I really want saved up, it's going to be a little less than what I was planning on if I want to get out of here by the middle of next year. So, but we'll get the money. It's just going to take me a little longer now because of the cost of the dental work I'm going to have to do. Like I said, it's going to my planned budget for in the Philippines. And I'm not talking about the first 2 months because that'll be higher. I'm talking about my average month after I settle in, what I want to spend per month. It'll be about four months. So, and my first 2 months, I figure it'll be almost equivalent of 4 months. So my startup budget is really shot right now. Once I get this dental work done, so we got to build that back up. But that's all right. Life happens. And like I said, you ever want to make God laugh, you just tell him your plans, and he'll say, "No, this is." Well, Crystal, it depends. I'm hoping to be able to decide that I like it enough that I'm going to live there. I would like to settle down and just live my retirement life years out in the Philippines. So that doesn't mean I'll stay in Cebu the whole time, because as you know, anybody that knows anything, you here in the United States, one place is not the same as the other. New York is not like Indiana. I'm from Indiana. I can live in either state. I've also lived in California. I've lived in Washington State. Now, California and Washington State was when I was in the Navy. So, but I know each state is different. And that's going to be the same thing about the Philippines. Each area, each city is different than the next city. I'm going to start off in Cebu. The first couple months there, I doubt if I'll be uh, hating it. I'll probably be in love with the Philippines at that time. And then after a month or two, the newness will wear off, and I'll be able to decide a month or two later if Cebu is the place I want to stay the rest of my life, or if it's just a stopping over place. Now, if it's just a stopping over, there's a few places I know I want to check out. I want to check them out even if I decide Cebu is it for me, just because of all the videos and YouTubers I follow. I like Iloilo, Davao, Valencia over in Negros, uh, Cavite area. There's some places in Manila I want to see. I already know Manila's not for me. It's going to be, I don't believe. I think it's going to be too large. Now maybe there's one section I'd like to check out that seems more like a small city, which might be kind of cool. That might be doable. But the things I really want to see in Manila area are going to be in the bigger sections like BGC and stuff like that. Now I don't want to live in those areas, but I'd like to see something. Hey Melanie, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. No, Chris, I don't want to live in the province. At my age, I want to be close to a good hospital. That's why I consider cities. Because even here in the States, from city to city, the hospitals will fluctuate. The best hospitals in the Philippines are going to be in Manila. The second best are going to be in the cities like Cebu, maybe Davao, Iloilo. So, I'm wanting to find a decent hospital. I'm not saying I want the best. I've never lived near the best hospital, so I can handle that. But I want a good hospital near me because, like I said, the older you are, the more important hospitals are. And I'm not a country boy. What you call the province, we call the country. I'm not a country boy. I'm a city boy, born and raised. So I was raised in small cities, okay, not large cities. So although I've lived in large cities, so a smaller city might be all right if they got a good hospital. Uh, but it's also the cost of living I got to look at because, like I said, I want to keep my cost down. One of the things I worry about Cebu is the cost. Can I live on what I want as a budget? Now I can raise my budget a little. I do have that option. I'm trying, but I want to save as much money as possible every month for medical and stuff like that, emergencies, and maybe bigger trips once in a while. So these are things I got to look at, and but now I've already talked to my doctor about going to the Philippines and the VA. So in about 2 months, we'll start doing taking some shots that maybe for traveling overseas, like a Manila. Let's spit that out and try again. Like malaria shot, maybe some rabies, TB shots. Now, I've had a TB shot, but it was many years ago, so they want to check and see if I still have the proper antibiotics. If not, I'll get another TB shot. And like I said, maybe rabies, anti-rabies shot. I don't know if I'll do the dengue or not. A lot of this stuff we'll look at, we'll decide, but I'm going to start getting the shots in a couple of months. Like I said, the dental work, Crystal and Melanie and Carolee, if you weren't here earlier, I've found out what the dental is going to cost. Now I will have to bear the brunt of most of it. By that I mean I'll have to pay the most money. Most of this is going to, and it's a little over, right around what I want to spend per month. It's actually right about what I want to spend per month for cost of living in the Philippines, which will leave me a nice little bit of money to save. Not a lot, just enough to save in case of emergency. So we'll see. If I have to pay the whole thing, it'll set me back a little farther than if I only have to pay part of it. I will pay most of it. I already know that. My dental insurance for this kind of work is not that good. I just don't know if I have to pay all of it. I can pay all of it. And like I said, that cuts into my first 2 months. Because like I said, my first month to 2 months is going to be almost double what I want to spend per month. Because you got to put down uh, the deposit, 1 or 2 months rent, and then you got to buy some stuff that you'll need because I'm not taking everything over with me. Well, that's good, Jerry. I mean, at least you know where you'd like to go. Like I said, it's been too many years for me, and the only real place I know is like Civic Bay and Alongapal. Uh, and I may visit there, and after I visit there, who knows? I may decide to move there, but it's not where I want to go. I want to go someplace different. Uh, Now I know Civic Bay and Alongapal's changed drastically since I was in the Philippines because the military is no longer there, so I'm sure it's improved a lot. Although, as far as infrastructure goes, Civic Bay probably has one of the best places for infrastructure. Uh, Highly organized roads and people traffic control. Uh, and that's left over from when the military was there. But yes, it's in Zambales, or however you call it. It's on the island of Luzon. And there's some places in Luzon, on the island of Luzon, I would check out. And if I ended up moving to the island of Luzon, I would definitely visit Subic. Uh, if nothing else, just for a weekend. And that's why I said that this money that I want to save would be for bigger trips. Part of it would be for bigger trips, and part of it would be, like I said, for emergencies. Uh, but the less money I go over with, the more I got to put that money back for emergencies. Like I said, when you get older, you really have to take all that in consideration. Like I gotta have a decent hospital. I'm not talking about a St. Luke's or something like that. I'm just talking about a good hospital with good, decent doctors. And that's why I talk to bigger cities. They're more apt to have the kind of hospital I'm looking for. So that's where I'm at right now. Uh, I will go talk to the dentist Monday to see about how long it'll take to get the work done, all the work done. Because, like I said, I got, I don't know if you can see that. See that right here, there's a couple roots they have to cut out, and then they'll have to put the post in for the implants, and then they'll have to, build the teeth for the implant and the bridge, and then attach it. But they're also talking about doing a bone graft. So this will not be done in 1 or 2 trips. I'll probably have to have 3 or 4 trips in. They've already told me what the cost will be. Uh, and I know I can pay for it. If I have to pay the whole amount, I can do it. But like I said, that's going to put a big dent in what I have saved up. It'll almost wipe it out. Won't quite wipe it out, but it'll come close. But every month I'm putting more money back. So I'm still building it up. Because I won't be able to do it for probably a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months before they can actually get started. That's what we got to find out. I don't. I think I told you all last weekend. I had a sister, my sister Ruth. Well, I won't give her out her name. My sister who had a heart attack. She had a blockage of the artery, one of her arteries, like 90% to 100%. Hey, Lorraine, thank you for coming. 100% blockage over one of her arteries to her heart. Well, they had to clear that artery. Then they had to put a stent in. And so I want to go home at the end of this month. I've already put in for the vacation, so that's going to cost me some money. But I was planning on doing that anyway, just not this quick. I'm going to go home for her birthday and the 4th of July, our Independence Day. I'll be back in Indiana for that. Uh, right now, she's in a rehabilitation center, getting help to get her strength back, get some more movement. And I was informed by one of my other sisters that a family friend, as far as we know, I think she's retired, but she might still be working. She's a nurse, and she said it takes about 10 days to 21 days in rehabilitation after something like she had, before they let her go home. So she should be home. Anna Mae, how you doing, Anna Mae Reyes? Thank you for coming. And but anyway, she should be home. Hopefully, when I go home. If not, she'll be at the rehabilitation center, and I will naturally go in and see her there. But hopefully, she'll be at the house. I Most of the time when I go home back to Indiana, I I stay with these two sisters. Now, not always. If there's a bunch of us going, then I'll get a hotel room. Uh, but I'll be the only one going, so I will stay with my sisters. And so that actually saves me money when I stay with them. I don't mind paying for the hotels, but when everybody's home and you get 3 or 4 guests from out of state, make things a little tight. So I just usually say, hey, I'll get a hotel room and I'll stay there. Gives me a little more privacy, but so like I said, I'll go home. I'll visit my sisters. I have 3 sisters back in my hometown of Terre Haute, Indiana, is where I'm from. I was born in Lafayette, Indiana, but I was raised in Terre Haute. So I'll go back home and stay with them. I have a bunch of cousins. Charmaine, thank you for coming. I have a bunch of cousins that I'll visit as well. My cousin George, who I'm the closest with of all my cousins. George and I are only 11 days apart in age. I'll get together with him a couple times probably. We'll do some things. I probably will go out to his place and visit him out there along with his wife. I think his youngest son still stays with him or spend some time out there. So I'll see John and but mostly because John's usually not there. He's usually at work or around with his girlfriend. But I'll see George and Mary. Sometimes their daughter and her kids, their grandkids, will be there. Once in a blue moon, the oldest son will be there, but the oldest son lives in a different state, so he's usually not there when I go home. But we'll see. Who's ever there who I'll visit with. My best friend from my high school days and stuff, he's passed away. He passed away last year, just before I went home. I didn't find out about it just before I went home, and so I did stop and see his wife. Although his wife and I we were. Hey, Dad, how you doing, man? His wife and I were friends, but not close friends. I mean, I never ran around with her without her husband. They met after we both got out of the. Oh no, they met after he got out of service, just before I got out, and that's when I met her. But yeah, like I said, I'll be going back to Terre Haute. Yeah, Dad, I'm going to just let you know that they don't want me to do the partial, so we'll be doing the implants and the bridge with the implants. I've got the cost of it. It's going to be about 4 months living expenses. What I plan on spending per month. Not count. I'm not touching my savings that I'll save every month. That should be. But yeah. So how's Cebu going, Dad? I hope you're still having a lot of fun. You and Mad Minnie, and I think you said her niece Faith is with you. So I hope you guys are having a blast. I noticed it was raining when you did your live stream, and it was raining here at the same time, but nothing like it was raining there. We didn't get the lightning. We just got some rain. And it wasn't that heavy. But I thought that was kind of interesting, rain in both places. But so yeah, we're just, like I said, now we're just trying to figure out how how long I got to stay next year. I won't be able to go at the end of March or the end of February, which is when I really was wanting to go. Uh, but I have to work at least, 4 to 5 months next year. And I was hoping to quit the end of this year and then doing a little bit. That was a slim possibility. But now it's not going to happen at all. I'm going to have to work into next year. So I'm hoping I'll be able to leave around May. Uh, if, I got to check on a few things. I got to see how often I can extend my lease by a month at a time, or if they'll let me extend for like maybe 3 months or 4 months. If they'll let me do that, then I'll extend for a certain period of time, and I'll know how long I'm going to be staying over. Like I said, right now my lease runs out at the end of March. And so if they say, well, you can only extend 1 month at a time or you have to do 4, I'll extend for 4 and I'll work a little longer than I wanted to. But I'll do what I got to do. I can only extend for a month each time. And I'll have say, well, how many times can I do that? Because they're going to raise my rent each time. And I'll do two, maybe 3 months that way if they'll let me. So I'll get out a little quicker. If they only let me do 1 month extension and then no either a year or gone, depending on how close I am to where I want to be, and I won't know that till next year. And I'm hoping if that's the case, I can do 1 month extension and work one more month and get the heck out of here. I was wanting to take the last month off that I was here, so I can get everything taken care of. And I may still do that. I may not work that last month. That all I can extend 1 month, extend, and then maybe work a week or so to help pay that rent, and then get everything taken care of and get up and get out of here. All that's gonna, like I said, all that will be decided when the time is to decide. It's way too early right now to try to make that decision, and but hopefully it will be where I only have to extend it 1 or 2 months, if any. Hopefully I can be able to do it by that way. But I may have to extend a couple of months if they'll let me just do a couple of months and then get everything done and get everything taken care of. Increase my savings. But yeah, Susanna, how you doing? Thank you for coming. Like I said, yeah, I really hoping to get out of here early next year still, but it looks more like towards the middle of the year. But that's all right. We're still getting out of here next year. We're not going to work the whole year unless something drastically goes wrong. I have no intention of working that long. Like I said, I've been working since I had my first real job, and I'm talking about where I had to go in and basically punch the clock, and I kept track of the actual hours. I was 15, so I've been working for well over 55 years, off and on. There was time frames that I wasn't working. I was in college for a couple of years where I didn't work at all. I just went to college. I was unemployed a couple of times for a month or two at a time. So basically, like I said, so 55 years would only put me at 70. I'm 71. So I've worked over 50 years of my life, and so we're getting very tired of working. Dad, I had cereal for breakfast, but I had breakfast for lunch. I don't mean cereal. I had a couple sausage and egg sandwiches for lunch today. Supper, real simple. I just had a salad with salad dressing. That's all I had for supper tonight. I need to eat some more roughage, so that's what I'm going to eat salad a few days. I bought way too much salad. like I said, I need to eat some roughage, and I haven't been eating much roughage. Now, I'm with you, Jerry. Enjoy the Pandasol, man. I like the Pandasol when it's warm with a cup of coffee. But well, the breakfast sandwiches were good for lunch. Uh, you probably remember that you can buy those Jimmy Dean's breakfast sandwiches, frozen ones, and you just nuke them. That's what I had. I decided I'm going to quit eating cereal for a week or two. I just finished off the cereal I had, so that's why I got the breakfast sandwiches. I'm going to try to for breakfast just eat one. Trying to think what I'm going to take for lunch each day. Thinking about making something simple for lunch instead of doing what I've been doing, cooking something. Uh, that won't be anything that has to be frozen when you buy it. It won't be anything like that. I'll make that decision later. I got some skinless, boneless chicken breasts up in the freezer. I need to take a couple of those down and thaw them out, and I'll fix something for supper that'll last me a couple of days or more. With that, now I'm going to make a lot of the Filipinos in the vlog right now jealous. I had Spam for supper Thursday night, and then again for lunch on Friday. Because whatever I didn't eat on Thursday night, I took him for lunch on Friday. I may do that again sometime here in the near future. It won't be this next week because I don't want to do the same thing every week on my lunch. And so who knows? Maybe I'll just cut. No, I'm going to cut that chicken up. I know one week I'll cut up the Spam into small chunks, fry that up, have that with some rice and noodles. Different, different days, different things. I'm like the Hawaiians and the Filipinos in that I like Spam. My boss happens to like Spam, so he liked my video when I was cooking up the Spam. He liked that video. But so yeah, it's we'll see what's going on. But I may put out a talking head video next week when I find out a little more about what's going on with the bridge. It'll be a bridge update. It'll be called. Yeah, you're right, Jerry, because the shorter the video, the better chance everybody will watch the whole thing, which is better. But so, like I said, I may put up a talking head video next week talking about what I find out about my bridge work that's going to have to be done. That'll probably be 5 minutes or longer. It won't be a short video. And what I mean, the short video won't be one of the shorts. It's like a minute. It'll be longer than that. I'll probably be sitting here just like this, maybe a different hat on. I don't know, but we'll do that. So yeah, I gotta get that all done. I'm gonna, like I said, on Monday, I'm gonna drive over to the dentist's office. I won't be able to talk to the person who's doing the work that'll be doing the work because they're only there on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and those days I work. So next time I talk to them, I'll have to take a day off, and I don't want to do that until they're going to do some work. But they do have dentist partners that'll be there. They'll have a clue of what's going on, or I can talk to them, and they'll get a hold of that person and have them call me on Tuesday and give me an update, so we can go a little more in depth. I'd rather talk in person, but I'll do it over the phone if that's the only way I can do it. So yeah, I'll find out what's going on with that, a little more of what's going on with that, and maybe a little more of a timetable, and I'll try to get that out to you. Dan, you weren't here earlier, but I've already talked to my VA doctor about going to the Philippines. He also asked me how long I was planning on going. I told him at least a few months, maybe longer. I wasn't positive. I said I want to go over and check it out, and I really like it. I may just stay. I didn't want to tell him that's my plan is just to stay, but I wanted to let him know that I was thinking about going over. And so he wants to see me in about about 2 months. He wants to set up a plan to start getting me the shots that I'll need for travel and that good stuff. So we're getting all the medical stuff lined up to get taken care of before I go. And so when I find out that routine, I'll also do probably a talking head and talk about what shots I'm going to be getting, when I'm going to get them, and all that good stuff. So there's a couple of videos that are coming up. There'll be more on the medical side and let you know how I'm doing. Well, Jerry, I'm glad you got most of your gifts already. Uh, that sounds like you're getting pretty well prepared. I haven't thought about what I'll be taking. Uh, I have thought about maybe getting something representing Indiana, which is where I'm from, and maybe getting something for New York to represent New York. I'll try to get the same amount of stuff. I just don't know how much stuff to get because outside of Dan and that man Minnie and whoever's in Cebu, uh, I don't know who I'll be meeting when I first get there, and uh, I'll probably overbuy. Hopefully I'll overbuy. Uh, but that way you can give stuff out later on too. Because like I said, I'm going to be there for a while, hopefully. Now, whether or not I'm in Cebu the whole time, I don't know. Like I said, I got to see if Cebu's for me. I know the first month it's going to be great, at least maybe even the first 2 months. So it may take me 3 to 4 months before I know whether or not I like Cebu well enough to make that or plan on making that my permanent home base. But we'll see. Yeah, like I said, I understand you buy the stuff from Texas and Mexico because that represents the area you're out. But well, now Jerry, that'd be an awful expensive way to send the stuff I'm buying. Uh, but I'll send other stuff with it. I got to find out if I can get somebody to ship it for me, or I don't know if they'll hold it till I have an address and have it shipped. That's something I have to look into is how to ship what I want to ship by LBC. If they'll take it, hold it, and then put the address on it for me. I mean, I'll pay a little extra if that can happen. Or if I have to have somebody hold it at their place and then have somebody pick it up and ship it. Well, after I get over there, they have to put the address on it. Uh, Jerry, what I'm talking about is buying here in the States and shipping, because there's going to be stuff I'm going to ship. I mean, I'm not going to be able to take everything with me that I'm going to want. I'm not going to try to take all my pictures of the family and some books and movies. I'm not going to try to take that stuff uh, with me. Now, I'll have to decide what I want to ship. I'm not going to ship everything I have. Not doing that. But I got to decide what I want to ship. Like that picture there, right here, this picture right here. I want to keep that picture. That picture, my brother, I think my brother and I bought that together for our mother, and it showed when we reported aboard when we were shipmates, and it shows when I reported aboard because I reported aboard first back in '72. Then he reported aboard 73 or 74. I'd have to look, but he reported aboard later, and So anyway, we gave it to our mother, and when she went to the nursing home, I got it, and so it came to me. You know, uh, if the sentiment was for our mother, and my sisters really didn't find it sentimental, but I did, so that's why it came to me. It was sentimental for me, and my brother and I were stationed together. Well, that still doesn't feel like I want to stay there, but so I got that. I like to keep it. Hello, how you doing? Well, I'm going to go to Cebu first, and I don't know how to pronounce your name. Uh, so uh, I'm not. I New Clark City now. Is that near Angeles City? I do know some people that live around Angeles City. They're bloggers that I from the United States or Canada that I know through YouTube. I will probably visit them. Like I said, I'm going to Cebu first because of well, I know a little more about Cebu through people that vlog than any other place. If I was going to a place that I actually been to myself, it'd either be Subic Bay or Longapo. Now, I don't know how the Filipinos pronounce it, but we pronounce it Longapo because it's spelled Olongapo. So it's Olongapo. So we pronounce it Longapo. Now, like I said, that's the American pronunciation, but it is a Filipino city, so I don't know how the Filipinos pronounce it. And Subic Bay is where my ship was at. I spent almost 3 months in Subic Bay on my ship. I was there for 2 weeks left and came back for about 2.5 months. So about 3 months total. Great place. We used to go to the one. Yes, all right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's around Clark Angeles area. Yeah, it's on the island of Luzon, and we're going to give you a blue jacket so you don't feel cold. But if you just want to, if you have a channel and you want to drop your link, just type in 3 L's. They can be small L's, capital L's, doesn't matter. Just type in 3 L's. My Nightbot will drop your link for you. Uh, like I said, right now I plan on going to Cebu. I'd like to check out a couple other areas. Uh, I want to check out, and this is even if I decide I want to stay in Cebu, decide that's where I want to make my permanent residence. I still want to check out Iloilo, Davao City. Uh, I still want to go up around Manila. And now Manila, I don't plan on living there, but there's some things up there I'd really like to see. The American World War II cemetery, I'd like to go up there and see that. I believe that's in BGC. It might be in McCarty, but I believe it's in BGC. I'd like to see the Venice Grand Canal Mall. I'd like to see that. I think that would be really interesting. Maybe the Mall of Asia, but that one doesn't interest me as much as the Grand Canal Mall. But once I'm up there, there'll be a few things I probably want to see and check out. But like I said, I really don't think I'd want to live in that area. Maybe in Eastwood, that might be an area I'd be interested in, but I don't think so. I don't know if I want to be surrounded by a super large city. Birds, how you doing? Thank you for coming. So, but I do want to try to find a place that I'm comfortable with. Like I said, I do want a good hospital near me. Uh, Thank you, Mertz. We appreciate it. Uh, but these are things I do. I want a good hospital near me. So I'm going to be probably in a little. My hometown was only like 70,000 people. All right, to 100,000 at one time. I live in a town now, it's got maybe 250, 300,000, maybe more. And I'm not talking about Waterville. I live in the greater area of the capital district, Albany. So when you can add all that together, it's a few 100,000 people. That's where I live now. I've lived in San Diego, which is like 3 million people. I was up in Seattle, Tacoma area, there again, a couple of million people. I've been in a town as small as West Pacific Beach, Washington, about 500 people. But that's back when I was in the Navy and I'm fairly young. Uh, all right. Well, like I said, there's areas I'd like to visit. I don't know about Quezon City, or Quezon City, excuse me. I think it's pronounced Quezon. Uh, but that is one of the cities I would check out if I was planning on trying to live up in that area. Uh, but it's not, like I said, I don't want to be in the city itself. Cavite area, I'm talking about the province of Cavite. It's an area I would look at if I was going to live up in that area. Because, if you're going to live up in that area, including Quezon City, that means you're going to be somewhere in close proximity to Manila for the hospitals. All right. So maybe you have a good hospital in Quezon, but the better hospital's in Manila, but you use the one in Quezon. If thing goes really bad, they transfer you to Manila. So that would be a plus for Quezon. All right. Uh, like I said, I'm an older gentleman. I'm not a young man. I look younger than what I actually am, but I'm not a young man at all. Uh, but right now, I don't plan on moving over there till. I was hoping to do it early next year, but it looks more like it's going to be the middle of the year. I may change my mind and make it quicker and go back to early. And I may have to change my mind and make it later in the year. It just depends on how things fall out. Right now, it looks like I could probably do it around May. I was hoping to do it a couple of months earlier. When I say May, I'm talking about the end of May, not the first of May, okay? So about the end of May, 1st of June is what it looks like right now, if I had to say right now, but I'm hoping I can do it earlier. That's depends on how things fall. If things hadn't fallen the way they've fallen, I'd have been going in February or March, the end of February, end of March. So we're looking at pushing things back at least 2 months because, well, I don't know if you've seen my video on the broken bridge. I don't know if I still got that set around here somewhere. Should be here somewhere. Here it is. This is my bridge. It broke out. That went up in there. And so, like I said, it broke out. So I got to replace that. And the only way to really replace that is to do I'm going to do an implant. So I got the root there and the root here I got to have cut out. They're talking about doing I'll tell you in a minute. They're talking about doing a bone graft. And then they'll take the roots out. They'll put the post in. That's going to heal up. Then they'll make the implants along with the bridge. It'll all be in one unit. and then they'll put it on the post, and that'll take care of that. And so, and if you know things about implants, they work just like your real teeth. You don't take them in and out. You brush them just like you do your own teeth, and hopefully they'll look natural. They're supposed to. And so that's what I'm going to have to do before I go. And that's why I'm not going to be able to go in February or March. That's why we're looking at the end of May or the end of June. I hate saying that, but that's what I'm looking at. I may decide to heck with it and go maybe at the end of April. That's only because if I have to sign more than a 1 month lease, unless I can sign a 2 or 3 month lease, I'm going to jump up out of here if I got the money. I had the money to jump up out of here until that happened. It would have been tight once I got over there. I've been living month to month for a few months, and that's why I wasn't going that quick. But I won't have to live month to month if I jump early. I just won't have as much money for a cushion that I want. And so I'd rather try to stay a few extra months and build my cushion up. Because once I retire, I'll lose about 2/3 of my income. So I'll go from what I'm making down to about 1/3 of that, maybe even a little less than 1/3 of that. And I'm talking about take home. I'll lose more than that if you look at the before taxes income. But I only worry about after taxes because that's what I live on. So I'll lose at least 2/3 of my income once I retire. And I can't stay here on 1/3 of my income. It's just living. I'm talking about just paying my rent, my groceries, and my utilities. I'd be almost broke every month just paying those things. So, I mean, I'd have a little extra money, but not much, especially if I try to keep a new car. You got your car payment, your insurance for the car, and gasoline. That would eat up most of what I got left, which means I'd be pretty much broke every month. Pay your bills, buy your groceries, and stay home. That's not a retirement. That's slow death. So I don't want to live that way. I can do it, but I just don't want to. That's not really fun. Not when I can move to the Philippines and have a better lifestyle. Tim, how you doing, sir? I got somebody representing your area. They're talking about the new Clark City. I'm sure you know something about that. They're talking about it's a green city. They're saying it's a good place to check out. I don't know what her name is because I can't read. It's not in English, her name. She writes in English. I just not her name is. So I don't know the name. But she's recommended New Clark City. She says it's a green city, first one of its kind, which would be interesting. And she said if she's going to live up around Metro Manila, she would take Quezon City, which I agree with her. That would be one of the places I'd want to check out. But like I said, right now, Cebu is where I'm going to go. We'll see how we like it. Oh, you don't know anything about New Clark City, huh? All right, well, that's fine. I figured you might. I'm sure it's probably not too far from you, but I could be wrong. I'm just going by the name of it. But yeah, it's a. I'm just saying, Jim, I found out Thursday the dental work I'm going to have to get done is going to cost me about 4 months of my planned spending budget for the Philippines. It's going to take about 4 months of that, so I can pay it. I had that saved up. I hate saying that. I mean, it's going to wipe it out pretty much. So I'll probably have to work a couple more months. I won't be able to leave at the end of February or end of March. I'll probably have to leave it around the end of May. maybe to June if I can extend it like 1 month at a time for a couple of months. If they say no, it's either 1 month, 4 months, or a year, I'll go ahead and do 4 months, which put me into what? Put me at the end of July. But I'm willing, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. If I get so tired of it that I say I can't take anymore, I may leave at the end of April. Just say 1 month and I'm out of here. Uh, so all that's going to depend on how things fall. I just know I was hoping to be able to retire at the end of this year and then take a couple months to see the family and get everything taken care of and my all my stuff sold off and then boogie like at the end of February or something. Leave a month early, just go ahead and pay the month's rent and then book, you know. But we'll see. We may still do that, but the odds are against it. Yeah, I know, Tim. June, July, and even part of May is the rainy season over the Philippines. That's why I was hoping to go earlier, get over there before. I still like to get over there before it if I can. But like I said, that's going to depend on how much I can save up. If I run into any more problems with, expense problems, unexpected expenses. Because like I said, I have expected expenses. I expect to go back to Terre Haute a couple of times. I'm going to go in to the end of June, 1st of July. I was planning on maybe waiting till a little later in the year, but we were planning on doing that. So that wasn't an unexpected expense. I plan on going again before I go over. So that's not an unexpected expense. I'm talking about something that happens and I have to go and I had no plans to do this. And it cost me a few, a pretty penny. Well, it depends on, I think, doesn't that depend on what part of the country you're in? I know on Luzon, the rainy season runs through at least September. Because when I was in Subic Bay, I don't remember it raining much in October. But it did rain in September quite a bit, but not every day, at least not in Subic Bay area. Because I turned 21 in Subic. And as all military guys will know that serve time in the Philippines, I don't know if there's a drinking age for the Philippines, but any military guy can walk into a bar in an area where the military was at and get served. They never carded you. So having a drink in the bar on your 21st birthday was no different than having a drink in the bar the day before, a week before, a month before, a year before. It was the same thing. So for my 21st birthday, I decided I had to do something different, to celebrate turning 21. Now in the States, in California, 21 was the drinking age, so it would have been different to go to the bar. And back there in San Diego, back in the States, back whatever their legal drinking age was, when you went into a bar on your birthday that was your legal drinking age, the bar would buy you the first drink. So you could go bar hopping with friends, never spend a dime on a drink. Your friends would buy only their own drinks. And so you celebrate, hey, Leela and Layla, how you doing? So, you never, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tim. I've never seen anybody get carded. So to do something different for my 21st birthday, me and a few of my friends, we decided we were going to go horseback riding. Now, Subic Bay was a very large base. They had a golf course and they had horses you could rent. They had trails you could ride on. You didn't have to ride in a circle. You got on the horse and you rode the trails. And so that's what we did. We went rented horses and we went riding on the trails. I can't remember if there was a guide or not. I really don't remember. I just know it was me, Marv, Rat, Richard Brewer, we called him Rat, Uh, I think Hitch went with us. Hit, and like I said, myself, so there was like five of us that went horseback riding just to do something different on my 21st birthday. And then later on, I went out and had a base and had a T-bone steak. And then naturally, I went out drinking. I was, I was a drinker back in those days. So, that's what I did for my 21st birthday to do something different. And so I still, like I said, it worked because I still remember what I did on my 21st birthday. Uh, on my 28th birthday, I took a girlfriend and her son to see E.T. So I did something different. Tried to do something different a lot on my birthdays. But, like one time I went roller skating, which I hadn't done in years. So I went roller skating just to do something different. But they kind of started running together on what I did on which birthday. But like I said, the 21st one, I still remember exactly what I did. Like I said, I went horseback riding with four of my friends. And then we went, they didn't. I went and had a T-bone steak dinner on base at the Enlistment Club. And like I said, then I went out drinking. That was a nightly occurrence. If I didn't have duty, I went out drinking every night when I was in Civic Bay. So, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to visit Civic Bay when I move there. Yeah. Well, yeah. For my birthday last year, I went to a Mexican restaurant, sit-down restaurant that was family owned and had a really nice Mexican meal. And I went in by myself. Like I said, I'm not afraid to go to a restaurant and eat by myself. And so that's what I did for my birthday last year. I don't remember what I did the year before. I really don't. I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I haven't made that decision, but that's a few months away yet. It's something I'll decide later on. A lot of times I just work my birthdays. It's like that, the older you get, the less they mean to me. I mean, there's been quite a few birthdays I just said when I hadn't worked. I no longer drink. I don't go out drinking. I don't drink and drive. So it's like it's another day to me. Now, when I was a drinking man, I usually try to take the day after my birthday off. Not my birthday, because I'd go out drinking after work. I didn't want to, because I was working day shift. I didn't want to get up the next morning to go to work. So I took the next day off so I could sleep in. And so anyway, that's, like I said, nowadays their birthdays just kind of run together. Like I'm getting to that age where they don't mean that much as far as celebrating. I still enjoy having my birthdays because I like the ideal of being above ground than over being below ground. As I've already told many of you, I've outlived my father and both my brothers. Now, three of my sisters are older than I am, and I got one younger sister. Now, my two oldest sisters are going through some health issues right now. Like I said, my oldest sister is the one that fell and hurt her back. She still really hadn't totally recuperated from that. And then my next to the oldest sister, she's the one that had the heart attack and had to have a stent put in after having the artery cleared. And like I said, I'm going to go home for her birthday this year, see her, along with my other two sisters back in Terre Haute. So that's the only things I got planned right now is getting that taken care of and go to see my sisters and my cousins that are still back in Terre Haute. I still have a bunch of cousins. Now that's on my mom's side. I did have some cousins in Terre Haute on my dad's side, but if they walked up and hit me, I wouldn't know who they were. I met them, I think, once or twice. And that's surprising because they didn't really live that far away. And now they weren't first cousins either. I mean, they were cousins, but We're like second or third cousins. Their last name was Bridgewater. That was my dad's mother's maiden name. And don't worry, I never use that as a question. Question for security. I just never use that name, so you can know it. I don't care. But yeah, it's not a name I use. I don't even use my mom's maiden name or her mom's maiden name. I'd rather use different questions. Well, if we're talking first cousins, Tim, most of mine have passed away too. Most of them are quite a bit older than I am. Not all of them, but most of them. Of my first cousins. Now, second and third cousins, that's different. I got, on my mom's side, I still have two cousins. First cousin still living. The rest are all gone. They just passed away here recently. No, I take that back. I got three cousins still left. The one so close, I'm not close to, but she lives in a different city now. She moved to be closer to her daughter, and her husband passed away not too long ago. But her sister and brother-in-law, as far as I know, her brother. I haven't heard from him in 30, 40, 50 years. As far as I know, he's gone too. As far as I know, we were never close. He was a half brother of theirs, same mother, different father. But he's gone, as far as I know. I got three cousins, all on my mom's side, first cousins. I have a bunch of second and third cousins on my mom's side that are still alive, but only those three are first cousins. None of my uncles are still living. They're all gone. My grandparents are all gone. I got one aunt by marriage still alive, and that's it. And that's on both sides of the family. That's all I have is the one aunt. That's my mom's older brother's wife. Now, she was quite a bit younger than my uncle. I don't know how I say this. His second or third wife. He was married to one woman twice before he married my aunt now. And so it was his third marriage with his second wife. How's that sound? But yeah, so like I said, I'll probably do an update. It'll be a talking head. I'll explain a little bit more about the dental work that's going to be upcoming, about the time frames. And then next week I'll talk to the doctor. No, that's my eye care. I'll get my eye care done. And then in a couple of months, I know I've got to talk to the doctor, and he's going to lay out more of a plan on the shots that I'm going to get before I go to the Philippines. So after I get that, I'll leave that out. So that's a couple of months away, though. But like I said, right now, I'll hope to lay out a video on what's going to happen with the dental and the projected time frame for getting all the work done. And then when that parts of the work is done, maybe I'll do something. If I can show it, I'll show it. If I can't, I won't. But I will definitely do one when it's done, so you can see it. Now, if I do the one, I can show the post inside the mouth. Just to let you know what's going on, to keep you up to date. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks. But we'll see. Hopefully everything will work out. We got.
Hey, Larry, how are you?
Not too bad. So what you up to?
Just drinking some beers, relaxing. What are we talking about tonight?
I'm talking about the work I got to get done. Now, wait a minute, guys.
Beers, relaxing. What are you talking about now?
Are we going to stay civil tonight?
Excuse me, sir?
Are we going to be staying civil tonight? Now, wait a minute, guys. I got.
How you doing, brother?
Yo, Shirley, what's
Are
up,
we going to
man?
be staying civil tonight?
Hey, what up? Shirley Drippings right here.
What's up?
See you, brother. How you doing, brother?
Now, I got two Mike Morris.
Wait, that's my cousin.
Hey, baby, hold on a damn minute.
All right, I'm Mike Moores.
I'm Mike Morse.
I don't like
Now,
no
are
queers
we
right
going to be
here.
behaving
No, fuck
ourselves,
that.
or do I start having to shut you guys down?
Wait. Who the fuck is Mike Morse? What the fuck?
All right,
God
guys.
fucking damn it.
The fucking Mets hat, Mike Moores.
Kiss
Mike Morse is
on
damn
me.
queer.
Kiss
Didn't vote
fucking
for
on
Trump.
me.
That's
All right,
Mike
guys.
Morse.
Bye. All right. We're not going to play that game. So anyway, like I said, I'll give you guys a heads up on we got a bunch of people here. I don't know. I'm sorry, Frantic Fred, but I'm not bringing anybody up. We're just not going to bring anybody up right now. I'm going to get ready to shut down here in a minute. I don't care to have some of this stuff going on. So, but yeah, so I got one guy still acting like he's on in the vlog, but he's not. But so anyway, actually, if you want me to say something, it's going to be happy birthday, United States Army. As a proud United States Navy vet, I like to wish a happy birthday to the Army. It's actually older than the country by 1 year. The Navy turns 250 in October, and I'll be happy to see that one. I doubt if they have a parade. Kind of hard to take ships down a road. But anyway, like I said, we're worried more about so it's just not something we're going to put up with today, guys. So you can pop up all you want. You're just not coming up. I'm not bringing anybody up I don't know personally. It's just not going to happen. And but anyway, a long time ago, Chris, and I was never a fan. I know people that were, people that I liked, but that's their thing. Setchamuchi, how you doing? Thank you for coming. But so yeah, so like I said, I will put out a talking head video this week about the plan on the dental work. Once I have more information, because I do have the cost of it. I don't know what it'll cost me. I know the total cost. I know I'll pay most of it, if not all of it. My dental plan doesn't cover a lot of the work that I'm going to have done, if any of it. But that's fine. Like I said, it needs done. It's going to get done. We'll pay for it ourselves. So we'll just. I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well, Satch. I hope you get feeling better. I did want to wish everybody in the Philippines, I hope you had a great Independence Day on June 12th. Of course, now the 4th of July, or July 4th, is our Independence Day here in the States. I will be back in my hometown in Indiana, celebrating the 4th with my three of my four sisters. Well, I believe three of them. My youngest sister, her and her husband like to go places a lot, so they may not be home that day. And but we'll see. Like I said, they like to travel a lot. They're both retired. Everybody, all of us are retired. My youngest sister just retired a couple years ago. Officially retired because she was retired from her government job for a little while. There you go, Carly. Show everybody how it's done. It should be popping up here in just a little bit. There it is. And so anyway, like I said, I'll go home and visit my sisters, my cousins that, they're still around. Some of my cousins live a lot farther away now. They only come back for family gatherings of some type, whether it's a funeral or a wedding. But the only time they come back. And so the ones that are living in that area that are around a lot, I will see some of them. Like I said, of my first cousins, there's only about 3 left on my mom's side. On my dad's side, there's no one near my hometown area. So I don't know how many first cousins I still have left. Almost all of them are older than I am. So if they're still around, they're getting up there in age. I have cousins out in Las Vegas area. I have cousins up in Minnesota, Wisconsin area. Cousins down in southern Indiana area, my dad's side. The ones down in southern Indiana, I don't think I have any first cousins up down there. But they're all over. I had a first cousin, last I heard, he was in California. He would be up around 80 if he's still alive, which is possible. But he'd be up in that age group. He's retired Navy. His sister, she lives in, she's still alive, her and her family are in the Las Vegas area. Last I heard from Sandy, her last name, married name is, it starts with an S. We're not going to get into last names. Jaylene, how you doing? Thanks for coming. And we had some people want to come up, and I think they were wanting to cause trouble again. Some of them were the same. So we just kicked them back out. We're not going to play that game. So, yeah. Have a blessed Sunday there, Jaylene. Like I was saying, right now, I found out what my dental is going to cost me, or the most it's going to cost me. And so we got to find out when I can get it scheduled, how long it's going to take, because there's going to be some surgery involved. We got to cut out a couple roots. They are talking about putting a bone implant in, and so that'll have to heal up. Now, when they cut the roots out, they'll probably put the post in for the implants. That's my understanding. They'll do all that at the same time. So I don't know if they'll do the bone implant at the same time, or if they'll do the bone implant, then the post, take out the teeth in the post. So I don't know how many steps. I know there's going to be at least minimum 2 steps, like 3 different procedures, but 2 of them may be able to be done at the same time. I'll find that out more hopefully on Monday. If not, I'll find out on Tuesday, because I want to talk to find out the steps going and how long it's going to take. Like I said, the actual cost to me, I won't know until I find out how much my dental insurance will cover, if they'll cover any of it. My insurance covered quite a bit of stuff I've done in the past, but this is beyond the scope, I think, of what they cover. I had the wrong. If I'd had a different plan with the same company, it would have been a little more covered. But I didn't go with that plan. But I've been with this company off and on for 20 years, maybe longer. So they've pretty much covered everything I've had to do up until now. I had to pay small co-pays. I may have to pay for all this, which is fine. I thought about switching over to the other plan a couple of years ago and didn't do it. My fault. I should have. So a lot of this would have been covered. Not all of it, but I'd still quite a bit more would be covered. But that, like I said, this will only push me back, hopefully, to about the end of May. It's still the end of March to be the end of May. Maybe the end of June. We'll see. Like I said, stuff I got to check into. In about 2 months, I'll be finding out what shots and the order I'm going to get the shots, how far out, and how many different shots I'm going to need. Because I've already talked to my doctor about going to the Philippines, so he knows I want to go. He knows I want to go next year. So he's going to check into my records, and I'm going to have some blood work done, which will tell him if I need a TB shot and maybe a couple different shots. It might rule out a couple shots. So when I meet up with him in a couple of months, we'll have a plan on what kind of shots I need and when I'm going to get them. Because you won't want to get them all, because there are side effects on some of them where you're not going to feel real good. So if you get too many where you're not going to feel too good, it's really going to lay you up. Can't have that. If I was already retired, I could have that, but I'm not retired, so I got to keep working. So, like I said, when I get that information, which will be a couple months, I'll lay that out as well. I'll see if I can have it printed out, and I'll do a talking head on that one. And then as those are ticked off, I'll let you know. So I hope you're cooking something good there, Jaylene. I had a couple breakfast sandwiches for lunch today. Biscuits, eggs, cheese, and sausage sandwiches. Small ones. I mean, they're small. They call them meal size, but they're meal size if you have something else with it. I had the sandwiches, so I had 2 of them. They were good, very good. Then for supper, I was very good for supper. All I had was a salad with some salad dressing, an onion vinaigrette. So that was my, for breakfast, I had a bowl of cereal. I finished off the cereal I had left. I don't plan on buying any more for at least a week, maybe 2 weeks. I'm going to change up my breakfast a little bit because it's starting to get boring. So we'll do that. That's why I'm going with the breakfast sandwiches. I'll probably start having that for breakfast. And on my days off, I might have something like peanut butter and jam instead. But not tomorrow because I don't have any bread. I have to go to the store and get some bread. So anyway, anybody of good sense wants to come on up, or I'll be shutting down pretty soon. I hope everybody, like I said, I hope you all had a great Independence Day. I hope you're having a great weekend. Since Poochie says she's not feeling too well, so hopefully she gets feeling better. And we'll see how everything goes. Like I said, right now, I got to watch my money because more of it's going to go out than I want to go out because of the, like I said, this is killing me. So we'll see what happens. And we're going to try to get everything done so I'll look decent when I go to the Philippines. And yes, in case you've not heard, yes, I still plan on going to the Philippines next year. It just will probably be a couple months later than what I was originally planning. But that will depend on how quick I can get money saved up Also, I'll have to renew my lease. If I could do a couple 1 month release or like maybe do a 4 month release, new lease, not release, new lease. That's what I'll do. I'm not going to do a year. I'm not going to do another year. We're not going to do it. I thought about doing that, but unless something drastic happens, I don't want to work another year, a full year. I mean, after this, I want this to be my last full year. I'll work part of next year. I don't want to work all of next year. I'm ready to retire. I'm ready to start my retirement life. And like I said, I want to start my retirement life in the Philippines. I'm going to start in Cebu. I know the first month or two I'm going to be in love with the place. I believe. Usually I am when I move somewhere new. I love it at first. Then I either like it or find it a little more boring. So we'll be there 3 or 4 months minimum before I know whether or not I want to stay there. But even if I do stay there, I want to visit some other places. And let's say I don't want to stay there. I want to, how shall I say this? I will stay there long term compared to some other places. Because what I'll do is I'll use that as my home base. I go out and check out a few places that I'm interested in. So I don't have to go there and set myself up, decide I don't like it and leave it. What I'll do is I'll go there for a week or two to many different places and try to decide, well, I like this one more than that one, or didn't like this. Because once the newness is worn off, I'll be able to judge a little more quickly. So, like I said, I know already I'm going to go over to Dumaguete and Valencia, although I don't plan on living in those two areas. I do want to go over and see them because of all the vloggers. So to me, that's just going to be like I'll probably do that when I'm still trying to decide about Cebu. It'll be like a weekend trip or something. Because I want to see the Sunday market in Valencia. And I'd like to see it around Dumaguete because of all the vloggers that are there that I follow. But the places I want to check out, legitimately check out, and like I said, I may change my mind on Dumaguete and Valencia. I may just fall in love with the place. Places I'm right now wanting to check out, whether I want to stay in Cebu or not, or like I said, Iloilo, Dumaguete, Davao City, Cavite area, and maybe Bohol, Bacolod. Some of those I know I don't want to live in. I just want to check them out. The tourist areas, I don't want to live in tourist areas. Now, I don't mind expats. I just don't want areas that is considered a tourist area, like Siquijor. I don't know if I'll ever visit Siquijor, but I know I wouldn't want to live there. It's too touristy for me. I want an area that's more like a hometown, more of a city that people are there because that's where they live, that's where they work, it's what they love, or maybe that's all they know because some people don't travel. But I don't want where, you got a bunch of people coming in because they got to see all the tourist sites. I want to see some of those tourist sites. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to live in them. And I'm not going over there to get married. I mean, I've never been married. If I do get married, that's fine. It's just that's not where I'm going. I'm going to live on my retirement income and enjoy my life. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again some other time, but if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. I'd like to have some friends that are Filipino or Filipinas. And I'm not talking about sexual friends. I'm not talking about someone to have sex with. If I'm going to start having sex with someone, I'm going to be looking toward making it a permanent relationship. I don't want one night stands. No, that's too much of a hassle. But I was in my plan right now is to go over, find a place I want to live before I find a partner. And there again, tell God your plans. He'll let you know if it's what he wants for you. So anyway, I've been going an hour and a half. I think I'm going to shut this one down. I want to thank everybody for coming. Remember to, be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And have fun. All right, everybody. We're going to end this stream. I'll see you again next week, and we'll know a little more about what's going on. Take care.